We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
My name is Jack Thompson. I'm the Director of Communications for the Penn State Lunar Lion team, and recently I had the opportunity to go down to Wallops Island, Virginia to view NASA's LADEE launch, which is the Lunar Atmosphere Dust Environment Explorer. They're sending it to the moon to study the microatmosphere that's present around the moon. I was one of 50 people who were selected at random to go down and sort of join the general media. I didn't really know what to expect, but they sort of just threw us into this room with all the actual media, which is pretty cool to begin with. But then all the subsystem leaders for the different parts of the LADEE spacecraft came in, as well as John Grunsfeld, who I actually had the privilege of speaking to, and learned that he's pretty close to an astronaut who works here at Penn State, Jim Pawalczyk. The LADEE launch took place at night, and unfortunately because of the distance I was at and because it was so dark, obviously, I was unable to get any good footage. NASA was nice enough to take us on several tours of the facilities there at Wallops. One of those included the high-altitude balloon facility, where they design and test different sorts of balloons for high-altitude testing. They also took us through on a tour of the sounding rocket facility. Wallops actually launches dozens of rockets every year that go into space, but on a suborbital trajectory, so they don't actually orbit the Earth and they stay there too long. There's a lot of science you can get done in a short period of time, so these things can go up and stay in space for an hour or two and then come back down, and they'll still get all the data they need from these short launches, and it's much more cost efficient than actually launching something into orbit. My personal favorite part of the tour was viewing the NASA Global Hawks, which are essentially converted Predator drones that are used to fly into hurricanes and take weather data for NASA. Getting up so close to these things was absolutely amazing, simply because I hadn't realized the sheer scale of these things. I think a lot of people think they're the size of like a small car or something, but when you get up close to them, the wingspan is absolutely ginormous, so it was an absolutely awesome experience. I've always been interested in space, but coming to Penn State as a business major, I never really thought I'd be able to get involved with anything space related. But joining the Penn State Lunar Lion team has made things like visiting the LADEE launch a reality for me, and I can't wait to experience the same thing I experienced at the LADEE launch with my colleagues and teammates when our launch finally comes in 2015.